So wave goodbye to the people in line. Bye, everybody. See ya. So once again, my name is Emily. I'm your tour guide. We're joined by our driver. Her name is Sam. Everybody say, hey, Sam. She says, hey. We're also joined by my celebrity co-host, you might know from The Tonight Show or from That's My Jam. He's the host of both programs. Please welcome my celebrity co-host, Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Hey, Jimmy.
You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Emily.
And the greatest driver.
Sam.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Emily
owed me $5.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. We do have a few safety rules to cover. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, just reach up and grab the red emergency cord, which runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind on today's tour, and be prepared that our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and water effects. You're going to want to have those cell phones and cameras out for all the great photo opportunities, but just keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and for those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. With that, we're now officially leaving the theme park behind and now heading into the heart of the film and television studio. On your left and on your right-hand side, you'll start to see a few posters which represent just some of the thousands of movies that have been made by Universal Studios for well over the past century. Going from our very first film, which premiered in 1914, titled Damon and Python. On top of those posters, you'll notice the Universal logo. It's changed a little bit over the years. In fact, the logo you see on top of those posters represents the year that's underneath the logo on the poster. So you can see how it's evolved over time. Now, as our Universal logo has evolved, so is our theme park. We're actually currently under construction for a new roller coaster here based on the Fast and the Furious franchise. Now, the construction is actually over here off to your left-hand side. For more updates on that roller coaster, you can find them on our website and social media accounts as they are announced. And not only are we a fully functioning film and television studio here, but we're also our very own city. So that means we have our own fire station that's over here off to your right-hand side, fire station number 51. We also have our own sheriff's department, our own postal code, our own Starbucks. We're just like your city, except nobody lives here. We have no residents. But we do have thousands of people kind of work here every single day, making the movies and the television shows that we all know and love. Now we're about to enter the front lot portion of our studio, where we house the majority of the 36 sound stages, these large brown buildings that you're going to start to see starting off to your left-hand side. You're going to start to see soundstage number 12, but within these heavily padded walls made out of concrete, productions can build whatever they need. Inside of soundstage number 12, you'll see the logo of The Voice painted on the outside. That's because it was a former home of The Voice, which has since moved to some of our newer sound stages. But at one point in time, this soundstage is home to these iconic sets on your screen.
The favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Yes, Transpo's the best, and they have the smoothest rides for us to play with.
Actually, speaking of, if we're going to get a ride like this, we better go talk to Transpo now and let these people go back to their tour.
Yeah, that sounds good. As long as I get to drive.
Oh, not if I've got the keys.
Oh, my phone.
Come on, man.
Now, Bel Air is one of the many current television productions filming on our lot. In the past, Universal Studios have been home to these television titles on your screen with NBC. And many of these shows actually filmed inside of the sound stages on your right-hand side, for shows like Coach, The Jeffersons, One Day at a Time, Sabrina the Teenage Witch film, as well as more recently shows like Based on a True Story, starring Haley Cuoco, Craig Robinson's show Killing It, as well as Mindy Kaling's show Never Have I Ever, filmed inside of the sound stages on your right-hand side. Oh my goodness, we have our first celebrity sighting. He's over here off to your left-hand side, folks. The family-friendly teddy bear for the movies Ted and Ted 2 is Mr. Theodore Clubberlang. What's up, Ted? Wow, that's a very dirty martini you have there. He's actually celebrating with that martini, by the way. His own show, it's a prequel series all about himself, coming to our streaming service Peacock this month, so keep an eye out for that. Now, these small brown
at times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you.
That's right, everybody. We're going back to Skull Island. Please remain seated at all times. Hang on tight to those personal belongings and make sure to turn the flashes on your devices off. Everybody, now is the time to put on those 3D glasses. Welcome back to Skull Island. That was awesome, huh? Pretty cool. All right, everybody, you can take those 3D glasses off now. Just hold them in your hand. I'll let you know when you need them for the next part of our tour. But in the meantime, I'm going to hop back off the mic because we're going to head back into that quiet zone. On New York Street, you might see some vintage-looking cars parked on New York Street, okay? And those vintage-looking cars are all considered to be picture cars. They're using them right now for Quantum Leap. So when we head down the hill, take a look off to your left-hand side and look out for some of those cars. Speaking of picture cars, that's actually where we're headed next. We're going to an area of our tour where we have some pretty... Willie's Coupe from the Fate of the Furious. Some Jurassic vehicles like the Gyrosphere from Jurassic World. The Fry's Electronics vehicle from Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope. And the Crawdaddy boat from his second film, Us. Now I always point out that tank near the end. It's a Bradley fighting vehicle for the Transformers series. And funny thing about that tank is that it's actually not a real tank at all. Oh my goodness, I look so scary when I turn off my camera. Sorry everybody, you're just going to hear from me tonight. The tank is actually made out of plywood and painted to look like metal. That's the part of the tour where you go, ooh, ah, right? You want to try it? That tank is made out of plywood and painted to look like metal. Ooh, ah, thank you. Thank you to my one person in car one. We're holding it strong here. Now, what makes me go ooh and ah is dinosaurs. So let's meet some dinosaurs right now.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Thanks, John Hammond. Welcome, everybody, to Jurassic Park. Now, everything you're seeing now has been featured on camera in the original Jurassic Park trilogy, including this InGen mobile lab off to your left. It's, oh my goodness, looks like there's some dinosaurs on the loose in there. That's it's not good. Well, don't worry, they're locked in there airtight. I should mention that the mobile lab is made out of plywood and painted to look like metal, too. Oh, no, that's not good. Ah, James! looks like they shoot through. Oh, you know what? That actually does remind me of something. Jeez, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the tour. Oh no, I'll just do it now. Could you do me a huge favor? Would you mind checking your seats? If you are sitting in a blue seat today, you are sitting in the splash zone. Yeah, all the seats are blue. And even on kind of rainy days like today, you never really know when the rain is going to start and stop, so it's very important that we control the rain on set. So, in fact, we have a weather demonstration set up right here in our Old Mexico set, that way we can just show you how we make it rain in the movies. The thunder and lightning is being created using some strobe lights that are flashing, and the sound projected through speakers carefully hidden all throughout Old Mexico. Now I'm going to turn on the rain. I think this is the right button. Let's see. Oh, nice. That's right. Now the rain is being created using a highly complicated and just, oh boy, wildly technical system. You probably have never heard of them before. But they're called sprinklers. Ooh, oh. Right, that's pretty cool. They shoot the water straight into the air. Then it falls back down to the ground using only gravity. Man, this is so nice. I am going to turn off the rain though, because we don't want to get too wet. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I might have hit the wrong button. I accidentally released all the water. Oh no! Hey, if you're in a blue seat, I'd look out if I were you. Everybody give it up for our Flash Club! Which you might recognize from the movie Think Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And you might recognize the rest of these Old Mexico sets from some other notable films, like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, The Three Amigos, starring Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin, and Nacho Libre, starring Jack Black. Now we're heading out of Old Mexico and into the Old West. Welcome everyone to 6 Points. Now 6 Points, these are Western sets here, and they've seen many a Western star over the years. From John Wayne to Jimmy Stewart to Clint Eastwood, even Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Yeah, maybe not the Western stars that immediately come to mind, but they were here filming Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now 6 Points is a great example of the two different kinds of sets that we have to offer, facades and practical sets. Facade is basically just a fancy French word that means false front. Even though these buildings are real, doesn't mean they can't party in them. Ooh, looks like there's some sort of party going on in that dressmaker shop. That's right, most of these buildings are just fake, so you can only film from the outside. However, we also have practical sets, and that means that you can film fully inside and outside. One of them is actually on 6 Points. It's on your screen right now, and this is a saloon. It was featured in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well. Folks, we're at the halfway point of our tour, so once again, if you have an emergency, drop something of value off the side of the tram, or just can't wait to use the restroom, just let me know by pulling the cord above your head, and I'll be back to assist you. Now, on your left-hand side is a large body of water called Park Lake. Across from Park Lake are some more sound stages. Within about half of those sound stages, numbers 30 and 31, they're currently being used for the 24th season of the singing competition, The Voice. That's right, we have some new coaches joining us this season, specifically the country legend superstar Miss Reba McEntire has joined The Voice for her very first season. Coming back is John Legend, Gwen Stefani, and the reigning champ Niall Horan. And they all work in the sound stages across from Park Lake. Now, Park Lake is a little bit of a celebrity within itself. It's been seen in movies and television shows like The Good Place and Desperate Housewives. And Park Lake just so happens to be the Black Lagoon, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. Here's a jump scare warning. Ah! That's the Gill Man. He's just one example of a Universal monster that really put Universal Studios on the map. From about the 1920s to the 1950s, Universal was really known for their monster movie era, bringing monster movies to life like Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, The Wolfman, The Mummy, and those classic monster movies inspired many modern-day filmmakers to make their own renditions of their own monster movie. Here are some of those filmmakers to tell you about how the Universal classic monsters inspired them.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein,
Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy,
The Hunchback of Notre Dame,
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera.
classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
that Frankenstein image, flat head, It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by this movie. Boris Karloff.
Now this is Steven Spielberg, who was inspired by Universal Monsters to create a monster movie of his own in the summer of 1975. A movie hit theaters that would change the world, and that would be called Jaws. Funny enough, it is reminiscent of the location that we're going to now, Amity Island. And don't worry, they figured out that shark problem. The shark is hanging up top to the right, so there's really nothing to worry about. In fact, Sam and I actually planned for you to go on a scuba diving trip. Each and every one of us, we're going to get in this water, and we're going scuba diving. How exciting is that? What? Oh no. Oh no, is that a fin in the water? Oh geez, looks like they caught the wrong shark again. Well, as long as everybody remains seated and doesn't get in the water. Oh no, that's our scuba instructor, George! Everyone yell at him! Save his life! George! Oh no. Oh boy. Well, that was a waste of a Groupon. Okay, everybody, we're gonna hide you behind this dock now. It's very safe, I promise, okay? We did put some bait in that white barrel. Oh, please, fingers crossed he takes the bait. Oh, I've got bad news for you. He doesn't look hungry today. Oh, jeez. Well, you know, on a positive note, at least we're warm. That's always nice. Has anyone seen the shark? Oh, there he is. Don't forget to remain seated. Applause for our shark, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. Bruce is very talented, actually. He's the only shark in the world that can do the backstroke. Okay, Bruce, look, you're showing him. Okay, I know, we're seeing it. It's pretty cool. Now, the main difference between our shark, Bruce, and Steven Spielberg shark is that our shark actually works. Now, Steven Spielberg shark, they tested him in non-saltwater conditions, and he performed just fine. The second they actually put him into salt water, however, he did malfunction and sink to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Kind of a bummer. Definitely did prove an issue for their production, considering the entirety of Jaws is filmed on location. So all the scenes that you see of them out in the water, that is the actual Atlantic Ocean. You know, I wasn't there. You know who was? Director Steven Spielberg and the cast of Jaws.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio echoes. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there.
Now, the Amity Island sets were built the year after the film premiered, but they have served purposes over the years for different locations for television shows. It's the town of Cabot Cove from Murder, She Wrote, the television series starring Angela Lansbury. It's one of the many neighborhoods that we have here on property. We also have individual houses, including this house off to your right-hand side. This is the Chicken Ranch, the best little horror house in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. And the Chicken Ranch is another example of a practical set, so you can feel fully inside and outside. Behind it is a yellow building that's only purpose in life is to give the illusion that the Chicken Ranch has neighbors. But as you can see, it's not a full building, so you can't film in there. Speaking of neighbors, we're about to enter probably the most famous neighborhood here, Universal Studios, and maybe in all of Hollywood. Welcome to Colonial Street. Otherwise known from the ABC show Desperate Housewives as Wisteria Lane. Now, we do have some pretty famous neighbors that live here, including the Munsters in this lilac building off to your left. That's 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Right next to the Munsters' house is Davy. Davy, played by Trey Ramakrishnan in the show Never Have I Ever. The sunny yellow house belongs to the main character on that series on Netflix. Right next to Davy's house is a house that has a tree growing out through the center of the living room. So, you know, nobody can live in there. In fact, that's one of the main selling points of Colonial Street. Since nobody lives here, productions can really do whatever they want to these houses. In fact, they did for Desperate Housewives alone. They burnt a house down for their production. They had a tornado destroy these houses. They even built this cul-de-sac we're going through right now. Keep in mind that nobody lives here the next time that you're watching The Voice, because a lot of the times in that show, they like to go and do segments where they go to the contestants' hometowns. I don't know what to tell you, but sometimes that's not the contestant's hometown. Sometimes for a time and sake of productions, they end up just pretending like the contestants are from Colonial Street. So definitely keep your eye out for that next time you're watching The Voice. Now, 1436 over here off to your left-hand side, this brown craftsman most recently was seen as Eddie Murphy's home in the new holiday film on Amazon Prime titled Candy Cane Lane. It's adorable. They use all of Colonial Street for that production, so it's one of our most recent productions to use Colonial Street. Would recommend checking that out. But over the years, it's been seen in movies like The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. Also seen in Casper the Friendly Ghost, starring young Christina Ricci. Used in Nellyville, and of course, Desperate Housewives. Now, where we're headed now is called Wilderness Road, and there's a very good chance you might spot some wilderness here, and some bunnies, or some rabbits, or some deer. Recently, we've had a lot of duck sightings, though. Guess you might call it migration season.
At Illumination, we're fortunate to be the stewards of a number of franchises. However, we also have a mission, which is to bring new stories and new characters into the world.
Let's fly.
In Migration, a family of ducks will embark upon what will become a journey of a lifetime. We meet some funny, silly, likable new characters.
Everything will be all right. Yeah, no, I'm okay. We can do this.
This movie is a